All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be talking about how to meet qualified clients on Instagram, really any social media account that you love to use. I'll be telling you how you can do that. But first, I do want to talk about my experience with finding qualified dream clients on Instagram. And so, first off, when I first was introducing my coaching, I offered it for free, beta coaching, in order just to see like how I can like apply my framework and if it worked for anyone else. And I announced that I can help people come up with a nice social media plan, basically to share their passions online and be qualified in order to be a voice of expertise. And so that was where I started. First, a few people did sign up for that. I've been supporting them ever since. A lot of them have been able to start up a YouTube channel or just be able to use social media more strategically in order to get customers and clients. And so that was a blessing for them as well. But then also I started opening up myself to do social media management for some other companies, people that didn't really want to learn the strategies themselves. I actually manage their accounts. Hi, Sister Marlene. Thank you for joining. Um, and so I offered that as a service as well. And it's been going very well. It's been going pretty nice. And so how one of my clients found me, it was very interesting. Like I had set up my page like for virtual assistant services. I did a few posts up, some highlights about like who I am and my experience, as well as like a testimonial that I had managing people's social media accounts before I did start with that. And then I just commented on another CEO's page, just sharing my goals for that year. This was back in May, I would like to say, somewhere around there. And a client found me. And so like she DM'd me and basically actually she emailed me and she was like, I'm interested in having your services. Can we set up a time to talk? And so we set up a time to talk. And after the interview, we decided that we would be starting working together. So you never know, just by commenting on other people's accounts, people that are like-minded like you and just sharing, your value, you're able to put yourself out there as an expert, as a person that can help. And so at the end of my name for the virtual assistants, I put my name and then underscore VA. And so people know right away that I'm a virtual assistant. And so that's what you want to think about, like when you are setting up your Instagram profile, is you want to make sure that you're coming up in search. I cannot reiterate this enough. SEO, search engine optimization, is very important if you want to be found on different social media platforms. So if you want to be found on Instagram, Pinterest, if you want to be found even with your website, you want to make sure that you're using keywords, words that you associate with yourself in order to establish your expertise online. And so if you are an accountant, you want to consider putting your name like as the first line and then a line and then accountant. So that way, if someone on Instagram is looking for an accountant, chances are if you're in proximity to them, you have a good following, then your name will pop up. Even if you're just starting out on Instagram, I had started that virtual assistant account from scratch. And a lot of the people that were following me on that page were a lot of virtual assistants. So it wasn't even like potential clients, but I was still able to be found by my client. And so you want to make sure that you're popping up in search. You want to make sure that in the bio, this is if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, all that jazz, you want to make sure that people know exactly who you are, what service you provide in the bio of your profile. And so like also you want to make sure that the posts that you have posted have to do with the service that you provide or the products that you provide. There shouldn't be, random photos of you and your dog, or you like traveling somewhere, or you like getting a quick bite to eat and there's hardly anything on there about the services that you do, people are going to question whether they should come to you for those services. So you want to make it abundantly clear that you provide that service, or you provide and create that product to solve a problem. You want to make sure that you're solving a problem for people that are coming to your page to see what it is that you're up to. So any life updates and stuff like that, you can share in your Instagram stories or in your Facebook stories to, to show that you're an actual human, and you don't just live and breathe what you do, but you also have a life outside of that. People like to see that. All right. So like, people like to do business with other people. They don't do businesses with businesses. And so this is very important to take into 2021, as we are in 2021 right now, and in years to come. So you just want to make sure that it's very clear as to what you do. Also, you want to share tips and expertise, right? You don't want to just say like, oh, I'm offering this social media coaching thing. You don't want to just say that. Like, you want to be able to show how are you qualified, how you stand out from other people, right? So like what are your personal experiences? Like, what have you basically come to in terms of conclusions as to, how you go about your daily life? How has this special skill helped you in your life? You want to talk about that when you are, just sharing things on Instagram or on Facebook. You want to make sure that people can genuinely see the happiness and just the good things that have come from you providing this service or providing this product. If you make products, you want to, show people how to use them, how to apply the product. Like if you do skincare or things like that, or if you do food, you make food, like just show people eating it as well, just showing, plate presentation. That's very important because people need to be able to see themselves in that situation with that product. They need to be able to see like, oh, this is what it'll look like if I was to buy this product. This is what it'll look like if I was to buy this service. This is what it would look like, if I had more time in my pocket, if I had more money, if I had more happiness, right? Because our products and services should make people happy, because it should either, add more convenience to their life, more happiness, more joy, and make them feel good about their purchase, right? We don't want people to just throw their credit cards at us and they're not receiving the benefits. So when you are sharing on social media about, your products and your services, you want to make sure that you are leading with the benefit. You don't want to just tell people just to buy something and that's it, because that is how you sound sleazy and salesy and all those icky feelings that we feel, that we may potentially feel like when we're like telling people about this is a product or a service that we provide. All right, Elijah in the house. Hello. So yeah, you just want to make sure that you're leading with the benefits and the happiness, because if you paint that picture for your potential clients and customers, that will in turn draw them towards you. Right? Because you can't just, just share tips and that's it. That's a pitfall that a lot of people fall into. They just share tips and strategies, but they don't share that like, hey, I'm like selling this thing, or hey, this is the next step in your process of learning from me. And so you want to be able to clearly define each step in order for people to understand that you are here to help them. And we all know that with a personalized approach, people get quicker results, right? So like you want to give people enough information that they could walk away like from your training or from your page, or, whatever you have, they can walk away with, things to do on their own. But you also want to invite them to work with you a little bit closer. So if that looks like, providing a service directly to them, or providing customized feedback, or, just sharing an experience with them, that in turn allows them to become your ambassador. That allows them to, be like, yeah, I really love their products. I really love their services. And so that is a really good thing, because you want people to vouch for you. So that in turn establishes your credibility. You grow in credibility. And so you want to definitely consider doing that when it comes to promoting your products and services and meeting clients. Now, another thing is you want to be able to get into direct messages. A lot of us call it DMs. And so a lot of people, for years we've been talking about like, oh, like it's always a negative connotation about sliding to someone's DMs. But if you do it the right way and you lead with value, then people are not going to want to kick you out of the DM. So the quickest way and the easiest way to do that is by checking out people's stories, seeing what they're up to, seeing if you can like have an actual response. Pretend that they're your best friend. Even if they're not your best friend, just be like, wow, like this was really cool. Or like, whatever they're talking about in their stories or whatever they're showing, see if you have a response to it. Now, obviously, if you don't have a response to it, then you don't have to respond to it. But if there is something that intrigues you, that is how you start a conversation, by replying to that specific story in their DMs. And so that way you're already in their DMs, and then you can actually, form a conversation. People love talking about themselves. So you can ask them questions. Don't ask them personal questions like where do they live or anything like that. That might make them feel like kind of weird. A better question might be to say like, where are you from? Or, what are you up to this week? If you don't mind sharing, you always want to add that piece at the end if you don't mind sharing. So that way people know that you're not trying to be invasive. You're just trying to start up a nice conversation. You can ask them, what are their goals? What are they currently working on? What projects are they working on that you might can check out at a later time? So for example, if you are friends with, somebody that likes to produce little short documentaries and stuff, you can be like, hey, like, I know that you love making documentaries on your YouTube channel. What's next? Like, what are you working on currently? So that way, it's very natural when you talk to them about that. And then like that can, go into, a natural flow of a conversation. You can just ask what their goals are. Now, you want to use that sparingly, like just asking somebody right off the back, like, what are your goals and dreams? That doesn't really sound like a natural part of a conversation. But how I said, like, somebody's like producing a documentary, you can actually like just ask them like what's next, what are they working on? So that makes more sense. People want to feel a personal connection. So like that is the overall theme of this live video, is that you really want to connect with people. You want them to feel heard. You want to just make sure that you position yourself to be in that person's corner. It doesn't mean you have to check on them every day. You don't have to respond to their stories every single day, but you want to make sure that, it is seen that you're there and that you're there to help them and to support them and whatever help they need. And who knows, maybe they'll check out your content as well. That's the hope that we have. And, they might be like, hey, I need help with this service. Can I connect with you? Can you help me do this? And so those are just some rapid fire strategies that you can potentially clients on Instagram. And another thing, you want to click on, the hashtags that you are using yourself and see what other people are posting about. See if you can respond to that. See if you can start a conversation in the comments, and then go to that same exact person's profile, see if they have, posted to their stories, and respond to their stories. That way you're already in the direct messages. See? So it's very natural for you to be able to connect with other people in your niche. Also think about people that you want to potentially hire in the future. So like, if you're a CEO, maybe some task that you want to outsource is like a OBM, or you want to contact a community specialist, somebody that can maintain Facebook groups if you decide to make a Facebook group one day. Or, maybe it's a launch specialist or something like that. People that you'll end up hiring. It's not to say that you'll be hiring those specific people, but just talking to them gives you access to their audiences as well. And so I'm just teaching you guys how to, just do natural ways to connect with people in your niche, and in turn connect with people like them that may need your services. So that is how I met my clients. And, you just keep networking. Networking is very important for people to use in order to get access to new audiences, because there's going to come a time where it's going to feel like your followers are capped, like you can't get any more, but that's just simply not true. You just have to keep putting yourself out there, putting value out, like all these steps. So just to recap, you want to connect with people in their DMs by responding to their stories, clicking on hashtags that you use yourself, and engage with all of those people, see what they're talking about, seeing if you can, put a spin out on your content as well. And just connecting with people authentically, not asking people too personal questions, but, just asking them, just having a conversation, just encouraging them. And when you're being supportive, then that actually helps you basically grow your account and grow your client base as well. Someone actually reached out to me yesterday, and she was basically saying how, like, she's doing this challenge, and she's really excited. Like, she used my name, she personalized it. It was just saying that she has a challenge coming up, and would I be interested in tuning it in? And I don't follow her, but I was like, why not? I could probably learn something from her. And so, just taking that chance and just seeing where it goes, seeing if she is going to provide any value to me. I think it's a really good thing. Just being genuine, just being nice, just opening your mind to learning from other people. That's also important too. Like, when you get clients and customers, you can actually connect with them and learn things from them as well. It's a lovely holistic cycle that you can actually put yourself in. So those are just the thoughts that I have to share with you today. If you want to learn more, just make sure that you send me a DM or you comment below as well. I will be repurposing this video and putting it on my Instagram for all my Instagram listeners. Now I quickly want to switch over to boundaries. So enforcing your boundaries with your clients, because, some of us, we tend to become friends with our clients, which there's nothing wrong with that. But you also want to make sure that you're putting boundaries out in place so you're not burning yourself out. You're making sure to be respectful of your self-care. You're being respectful of the clients as well. And just to make sure that you are doing your work efficiently, because if your clients are literally talking to you every single second of the day, you can't devote that time to other clients, and you can't help your other clients. And then you're going to stay capped on your money and on your time, which is not something that we want to do. So example, for one of my clients, I try, to make sure that we aren't talking to each other after 7 p.m. about business. Like, if it's an emergency, or if she wants to talk about something that's very important and something that can't wait until the next day, then I can decide, like, okay, I need to see if I can help her with this. But overall, we basically save all our information for the next day. That's a boundary. Also, you want to make sure that, you're letting clients know, like, if they're asking for something and they're like, I need help with this, you can let them know that, be like, hey, when I'm available, I will get back to you. So that way, they're not like, because, like, sometimes, like, if you are you feel like a little overwhelmed, or you may not just feel in that mental space to talk to your client, and you don't respond to them, they're going to be like, well, what's wrong? Did you get my message? And stuff like that. That gives them anxiety. So to make sure that everybody is happy, and making sure that everybody feels good, you just want to make sure that you're like, okay, I received your message. Thanks. I will get back to it when I'm available. I will answer you when I'm available. Because what I was doing when I was first getting started was thinking that, like, I literally had to stop my life and what I was doing and answer the call, answer the email, stuff like that. But that just wasn't a good time to respond. And so I was ending up burning myself out, and I just wasn't happy overall. So, setting specific times that you can get the things done and help your clients out is very transformational and very important. Also, you want to plan out whatever it is in advance. So if you're planning out a launch, if you're you're going to have an influx of orders coming in, or if you have to create content for your clients, or you just have to help them out, schedule out the same time in the same part of the week, so that is a routine and it makes sense for you, and you're not just reaching them at random times. Because, like, let's just say, for example, you forget to schedule a meeting with your client, or if you have to talk to your customers or something like that, and you forget, then it's not consistent, and then it just seems like everything is all over the place. So if you're making sure that you are being consistent and you're being organized, that way everything will go a lot smoothly. You don't want to be doing things at the last second, because that doesn't help anybody. That stresses everyone out. And then that way you can't even enforce the boundaries that you put in place to begin with. So it's very important that you do things in advance and you're not rushed. Like everyone should be communicating effectively, especially like if they're a little late on something or they can't do something, right? Because, I am a person that, I tend to be on a little passive side. I'm getting a little bit better with that, like just, communicating more assertively and stuff like that. But I held a lot of things in, and I know like over the past few years, I have been being more vocal about, if something is bothering me or if I need help with something like that. That's just very important because there needs to be a consistent flow of communication when something is not working. So, all of us have those areas that we really need to work on and things like that. But overall, you should have a great communication strategy. And the last thing I'm going to talk about too is with pricing. If you're literally just starting out, I would say like maybe one or two clients, maybe you can work for free at first, but you also want to make sure that you're getting cash flow coming in. So I would also strongly suggest that you have like some sort of down payment or even a low price, and then you can increase your price a little bit later on, depending upon how skillful you are becoming and providing this skill or providing this product. But if you're providing a product, maybe provide some samples, ask for testimonials. Testimonials are so important, in order to establish your credibility. So you want to ask for testimonials, maybe within like a 2-week window of someone trying your product or trying out your service, just to get some quick feedback. So that way you can take that feedback and decide if you want to upgrade your product or upgrade your service. Take it into consideration because, there are going to be people like them that need your help, and you want to make sure that you're creating a seamless experience for those people. So, the end goal is to make everyone happy, including yourself. So that way you can grow your business with dream clients as well. And so you do want to make sure that you are pricing people according to the value of your service. Google it and the value of your product as well. See what other people in your industry are charging, why they're charging that, what are they providing, what features, what end result are they promising for their customers and clients. And once you do that, then you can make sure that you're not shortchanging yourself. You can see if you need to invest in, some further training or some webinars or something like that. So that way you're able to raise your prices a little bit quicker. Right? Like you can raise your prices like within a year. You don't have to wait until 2022 or whatever the next year that you people are watching this. You want to, depending upon your skill set, you can increase your price within the year if you have a justifiable reason, right? And, take in consideration like how much money it takes for you to live your daily life and stuff like that, just to make sure that you're not shortchanging yourself. Okay. I do think there was something else that I was going to share as well. Oh, I was going to share too. You don't have to work with every that comes to your inbox, right? So if you know that the person doesn't align with your values or they don't align with your products and services, you can tell them. You can be like, I don't think this is going to be a good fit, and maybe recommend someone else that does what you do, but they might do it at a different scale or a better scale as well. So that way, they can still get some help or they can still get some value and things of that nature. So I know a lot of service providers, they have contracts in place when they're about to work with somebody, or they also do an application where you can actually apply and just see if you guys are a good fit. Let me try to think. Some determining factors, if something is good to work with you, you can see what their personality result is. I know a lot of us have taken the 16 personalities test or something like that, and you can see if your personality types will mesh well or if you guys will butt heads a lot. That's a factor. You can also see if they're like a go-getter type or if they constantly need somebody to keep pushing them or holding them accountable and stuff. And then if that doesn't align with your values, then you can just say, I don't think I'm going to be a fit. And I want to make sure that, your success is utmost importance to me, but I think that you should go with someone else, and just try to see if you have somebody else that you can recommend them to. So those are just some tips there as well. And just make sure that, like, you're protecting yourself and you're giving the client space to protect themselves as well. I know, like, for me, we can terminate our services, or we can, the client can say, like, I don't need the service anymore, thank you, and terminate it. So, like, that way we're able to protect each other if we don't think it's a good fit anymore. Like, no long-term contracts mean like you have to stay with me for 5 years. Like, no, like, just let me know in advance and we go from there. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below, or you can DM me as well. And if you would like for me to be your mentor this year when it comes to social media strategy and putting yourself out there, send me a DM. I have put an application together, and so I can send you that link. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.